with that said, joined by co-caster Mini Maggot here once again. How's it going, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm looking forward to this game, actually. Going to be somewhat of an important match, particularly for The Last of Us. I know they're on like 6 points already, so they're like actually, I think, fifth in the standings, but I think they've got a couple of games of hand, so if they win these matches, then they can definitely go ahead of Widowkeeper to stay in the top four.
Well, yeah, I was actually looking at that before the match, too, and again, there was actually just some updates just very recently made as well. So actually they're at 9 points currently. They still have 3 matches to play in total, including this one here. It's them and Reason Gaming are kind of competing, them, Reason, and Willowkeeper, actually, for that matter, all kind of competing for that 3rd and 4th place spot. So yeah, there's definitely some good competition going on to finish it off here as far as the regular season goes, and only two of these 3 teams, obviously, can make it in those 2 spots. So yeah, it's going to be fun to see how that shapes up. With that said, though, we already got almost the first initial picks finishing up here, so let's take a look and see what's going on. Bubbles and Pharaoh taken out by CiC. Then you got the Kronos and Puppet Master being banned out over here on the Hellborn side, but you also look at a pick so far that definitely stands out. That War Beast coming out. What You Got plays a great jungle War Beast, so that's kind of a comfort hero for them.
Yeah, and the bans coming up from Flensmeister actually kind of reveal what the strategy or the idea that CiC want to go with. I mean, they ban out 2 solo heroes that are particularly good at, like, in the tri-lane sort of meta, just because their roaming potential in the tri-lane. Get Bubbles level 6, get Pharaoh level 6, and rotate into that tri-lane. And Flensmeister just doesn't want to sort of face that, though. He wants to make sure this tri-lane's strong and doesn't get interrupted either way, because he's running the sort of Swiftblade tri-lane with the empath, kind of unstoppable in my opinion, and he doesn't want to get weakened by any roaming solos on the enemy team.
So we'll see how that plays out for them. Obviously, the next year band's coming out here. Kraken into Dr. Repulsor so far. Of course, Dr. Repulsor, definitely one of those favorite carries, especially if you're going to be running a trial lane, gets a solo farm, and definitely can snowball and whatnot. But yeah, the Swiftblade coming out here with that empath synergy, obviously very, very scary already to deal with. And, it tends to, when we've been seeing more and more of these tri-lane actions, especially involving the Swiftblade, we got at least one of those other heroes being something like a chipper, one of those very burst-heavy heroes. So I'm kind of curious these follow-up bans are here.
Yeah, I wonder if Bombardier will be picked up. I know, Thunderbringer or Bombardier is really good because he has that global presence to, offer something in the tri-lane. One thing that's interesting, though, is I don't know if this Warbeast is going to go jungle. I mean, we saw actually CiC, I think they laned the Warbeast and then run the Flux tri-lane where KZU played the laning Warbeast, but I'm not 100% sure if 007, oh, not 007, The Last of Us, that tag keeps throwing me off every single time I look at it.
I know.
Yeah, but if they're going to be running the laning Warbeast or they'll be running the jungle Warbeast, it would be interesting to see. I mean, I think if they did run the laning Warbeast, actually, that they might to face the Swiftblade tri-lane because of that battle cry. I mean, it offers so much in a tri-lane because of the extra bonus damage. And if you're running a tri-lane, obviously it's almost even better because everyone's bonusing in their attack damage in that one lane.
Yeah.
Because it's like, say, if you maxed out Battle Cry, that's always like 122 bonus attack damage. So we'll have to see, though. Follow-up pick on Drunken Master. Still not actually a focus here, actually, in the banning or picking phase to the last stage. So.
Yeah, obviously there's been some a little bit of patch notes that have been coming out here over this last week. Waza's been doing his Waza report thing, and 3 videos I believe have been released so far talking about a couple of changes amongst many more to come. I want to clarify on that once again. But the most recent video was a very controversial one, mainly because there was some nerfs that were announced, I believe, to Kronos, Puppet Master, and Drunken Master. Was also another one that's going to get hit a little bit with a nerf bat in the upcoming patch. Hasn't been hit nerfed yet, though, so that's where it is a little surprising, even more so that he got passed up to this point, but is going to be picked up sure enough here by the Legion side. Again, especially with that synergy of empath, we talk about that combination as well. The strong synergy that lies there. So, yeah, it really is going to be interesting. I mean, it's such a comfort thing, it seems like, for them to run that Jungle Warbeast, but you're right. If you run the Jungle Warbeast, you tend to maybe not go that Battle Cry, and it also can, maybe make the lanes not to your advantage in the end. So, we'll see if they make that adjustment or not, but CiC definitely going to put the pressure on here, to say the least. So one quick thing to note as well. Obviously, as you guys can see for yourself, but just to clarify, CiC is even using a couple ringers here today. Sarah and Panny kind of stepping in for both Zlapton. Who else are we missing?
Insania.
Insania, of course, yeah. Their new support player. And then even on the other side, Diglett obviously not here for the last. So, a couple players. Subs. I want to say subs, not even ringers. I mean, more so subs at this point. But
yeah, definitely.
anyways, Madman going to be coming out here.
Yeah, it's kind of both teams running somewhat of a late game strategy. You got Swiftblade and Drunken Master and Madman and sort of Warbeast on the other side. And Witchlight pickup, I really, really do like this the pickup here by Flintmaster, because with the four heroes they had with Drunken Master, Swiftblade, Empath, Rhapsody, yeah, they have good late game, good lanes, but they really lacked initiation. And that Witchlight pickup was just perfect to sort of round off the whole lineup. And I really do like that Witchlight pickup actually, because it can offer that the initiation as well as the ganking potential that was really lacking about that hero there. So. In terms of The Last of Us, though, it really depends what kind of strategy they want to run. See if they want to, fight the tri-lane or dodge it completely. I mean, they've got the initiation with Magnus, they've got the late game with Wolfbeast and Madman. I mean, they are lacking somewhat of gank potential, but it really depends what kind of strategy they're going for, honestly. I mean, they've got 8 seconds left, so it's going to depend on what they want to run.
Yeah, you see right here, Valkyrie being right-clicked. I mean, we've seen that kind of before. Okay, they do go Chipper in the end as their final pick. So, talking about the maybe lacking a little bit on the gank, obviously that assists with that, especially if you're going to have those under-level support as we talked about. So, perhaps making sense there. But I'm honestly more intrigued by this solo Witch Slayer, or farming Witch Slayer, even, I should say, here, coming out from CiC. I mean, yeah, we've been seeing them play it, but usually it's that main support Insania playing the Witch Slayer. So, farming Witch Slayer definitely has potential. You get that miniaturization maxed out that much sooner, and his CC becomes that much more powerful, and of course his ultimate that strong as well. But what is your take on that overall?
Well, on the Chipper, or do you mean the overall Witch Slayer?
Well, the Witch Slayer and just overall on the...
Yeah, well, I think the Witch Slayer is actually a really good pickup, because we talked about how they were lacking initiation. The only thing I think that might be an issue, actually, is how they're going to lane it, because obviously Zinc want to run the tri-lane of Rhapsody, Empath, and Swiftblade, but they're not going to be facing a tri-lane, because almost definitely the Last of Us are going to be going to dodge, because they picked up the Chipper, obviously not a usual secondary support, and they've got the jungle Wolfbeast most likely as well. And so this could be an impact actually onto Witch Slayer, because Witch Slayer's most likely, or would prefer to have been against a solo 1v1 matchup, but I don't think that's going to be happening actually with the lanes, or the way the lanes are being holding out. And as Zinc are not going to be facing a tri-lane themselves, they have to most likely dual mid with the Drunken, most likely. Otherwise, their lanes are going to be really, really sufferable. In terms of the Chipper last pick, I think it's good. I mean, they were lacking of an early game presence. I mean, they picked up the Warbeast and the Madman. Obviously, don't offer that much in terms of the early game, and then Chipper does offer something, obviously, in compared to the other heroes. But yeah, I mean, I think I really did like the Witch Slayer pickup, but only before I saw the lanes coming out from The Last of Us. If they were going against like a normal tri-lane, I think Witch Slayer would have been a perfect matchup, because they would have been soloed mid against Drunken, and soloed mid against Witch Slayer, and then the tri-lane. But now this might be a little bit of an issue, but we'll have to see how the lanes play out, really.
Indeed we will. Indeed we will. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, Mickey playing the Witch Slayer in this case. So it's we saw this in the past. I want to say Stay Green even was known for running it a little bit. Maybe it wasn't that they ran the Dimension Shaman solo. Somebody ran like a solo Witch Slayer for a little bit.
Yeah, it was Stay Green. I remember seeing them playing.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Did that as well. But again, his skill set, it definitely makes sense. Like I said, you get that level 2 silver bullet, especially very quickly. Even level 1, you're looking at 500 magic damage. And just imagine, hey, he can go for Staff of the Master. He's going to be playing as farming Witch Slayer. Go through Shrunken Heads and increases the damage done. OP.
I think it's honestly has potential, particularly in this game, because obviously it's not going to be a secondary support, so he's going to have enough farm to get it. And Warbeast is definitely going to be going and getting a Shrunken Head. And then after that, give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
There we go. So I mean, Warbeast's getting a Shrunken Head, and so is Madman. So I mean, getting the Witch Slayer Staff the Master is definitely a potential, honestly. I know it sounds a little bit trollish, but I mean, the burst damage you can offer. I'm being serious though. Like the burst damage potential coming out can be absurd. Like seriously.
Yeah, no, it's one of those. It's a classic case though. It's like, yes, the potential may be there. It could be solid. But in the end, you would be spending that 4,200 gold towards it amongst getting something else. So it's like, sure, yes, we'll probably, I'm sure, see something like a portal key initially, is of course the go-to. But then, from there it depends. Will he go maybe just follow up Sheepstick, or will he go for the staff, or like a tablet? So we'll see.
I mean, the only thing, though, is that, they have some kind of lockdown with the Drunken Master physical to go through Shrunken Heads itself, and maybe the damage might be a little bit lacking, because they only have a sort of physical would be Swiftblade as well. I mean, they might have the potential. I think there's definitely a potential, though, to have it, because having that what is it? Gonna be like 1,000 damage coming out from the Staff of the Master boosted Silver Bullet.
Is it that? I think it's even a little more maybe, but
I think it's 1,025. I was
playing.
I was playing around with it yesterday actually, and so it can do a lot of work. I mean, we probably won't see it here because it's kind of a off-the-wall pickup, but I mean, I think it has potential definitely.
Yeah, we'll see though what his build ends up being here. So again, Mickey the one playing the Witch Slayer. So we'll have to wait a little bit longer. Obviously, still waiting on the pause here before we can resume on. So once again, guys, we got CiC versus The Last of Us coming at you. It is going to be the only match today, but you know, should be a good one. Again, the BMG guys not able to show up, kind of a last-minute thing, but hey, like I said, at least we got a match, and that's what matters. In the end, get some good old content for you guys. But yeah, no. Again, go back to the patch. I assume you've watched those videos as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of seen some upcoming changes that are going to be happening. So, you excited about this patch?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm just really glad Kronos is getting nerfed because it was so annoying.
He got hit, man.
I'm glad he did though. No offense, like
yeah.
In high TMM, you just can't outplay it. There's no counterplay to it. That was the problem, really. But the game's underway now, so. But no, I think the balance change looks really, really interesting, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to like having a few of the heroes being entered into competitive mode, like Silhouette. It's going to be quite interesting to see.
Yeah. Again, I really want to stress too, like that's with the videos that we've shown already. Like it's just a tip of what's to come. And there's definitely some much bigger changes that are also still to come and be announced in the upcoming patch that I can't wait for it to happen. Then, of course, going into the new Haunter Season 3, which was also announced. That's kind of a big deal. This is the first cast that we've had since that announcement came out. So, yeah, Haunter Season 3 for somehow, if you missed that, was officially announced, and going to be exciting stuff, of course. So, anyways, this match indeed is getting under its way. So, again, CiC versus The Last of Us. We got the initial start here. Hellhounds doing their scouting thing. Going to get some information here for the Hellborn team. But it looks like an aggressive trial land is being set up by CiC here. Not a huge surprise, I guess, but... Or maybe not. I mean, Rhapsody... Okay, yeah, just handing off to Drunken right there.
The problem here for The Last of Us, though, is that they have to dodge the tri-lane because, obviously, you've got the Jungle Wildebeest and, you know, they can't run a tri-lane versus a dual lane. It's just, you know, it doesn't make any sense. So they're going to send the Madman up top here, which I think makes the most sense, but almost you'll expect an almost instant rotation coming out from the tri-lane or one of the sports top to come mid to face the Magma's Torturer. And in that sense, it really depends on how much farm or how well Warbeast does, because they'll probably have maybe the Empath Swiftblade top against the Madman. Should hopefully be able to shut down the Madman as much as possible. Middle lane should be somewhat even, and so in that sense, it's going to be almost two lanes, one coming out from Zinc, and it will be how well the Warbeast does in the jungle. So here comes the rotation already coming out from Empath, coming mid.
You see there, Magnus actually even stunning in right away, and Case going to take some pressure, and they're going to let him know that he's not going to have a good time. Well, at least until the Empath sure enough does come, as you're talking about. So here comes that Empath, and now things may be changing up a little bit. But so would you still favor the Magma's Torturer, though, even with the Empath here?
With the Drunken and Empath, I think they're going to have actually higher CS, but I think the real kill potential is going to be for the Magma's Torturer until like level 5, level 6, and that's where I think Drunken and Empath will have the favourable sort of killing lane potential.
Yeah.
But in terms of overall, I think it'll be somewhat even. It really depends on the roam and the runes. Like, you could maybe see like a haste rune going top and Panny getting it and coming mid and changing the whole dynamic of this middle lane. But for the most part, it's going to be somewhat even. Maybe the CS just in favour of CiC.
Yeah. Top lane, Madman getting a little aggressive there with the stock, trying to get some farm, but Panny doing a good job of boxing him out and making a point that he's not going to get some free creep kills by any means. Then there's the bottom lane. Sure enough, it is the Witch Slayer versus Chipper here, and you see right there, Witch Slayer taking advantage of that power drain. Only level 1, so honestly not a whole lot, obviously, at this point, but still, doing some great harassment with it. And Chipper is going to have to feel the brunt of that. In fact, there we go again. There's the Graveyard Sign, doesn't have the cooldown for the Mana Drain. Just having a look at that damage coming out with the creep.
And it's actually really well played by Mickey there. You see, like he was actually focusing the harass coming off on Chipper instead of getting the last hit. Now that's because Chipper doesn't actually have a health potion. He's going to have to tick up from Blight Stones, but it's actually a really clever thing to do there because he's got this Chipper quite low now, and he doesn't have a health pot to go back to full HP. So I think Chipper might be in actually danger in the next couple of minutes unless he sort of stays back. So really well played up by Mickey there, sort of focusing the harass, realising he doesn't have a health bot to go back to full HP.
Is the power drain that powerful? I mean, we see which, in fact, he's going to use it again, right? Like, you see, it's not really draining a whole lot of mana, though, especially at level 1.
I don't like it at level 1. I think just putting a few more auto attacks would be more sort of useful. But I mean, it's just I think maybe he's not used to the hero that much. Maybe I think I think he specced it right, but I think he should wait to do that until level 2 because at level 2 it like doubles the mana you take. So, yeah, I honestly don't think he should be doing it at level 1 because I think that the auto attacks are maybe a bit more useful.
Yeah. Well, we'll see right here, top lane. Oh, Madman, he's going to be able to stalk away and be just fine in the end, but Swift Blade, again, he's having some very good fun, I'm sure. 15-3, yeah, coming out for Flensmeister. Again, not a big surprise. Madman 4-1. Again, has the potential with that stock at least. Oh, middle lane, we got some action, though. Torture in the meantime, dropping half life right here. Drunken Master trying to finish him off. Nice wallet from Empath. Allows Drunken to go back in, gets the stagger off, but at what cost right here? Drunken Master is going to fall. You can tell there's a little bit of miscommunication there. I don't think Drunken Master realized the wall was going to be coming out, and so he kind of fell back initially, and may have been the end result as to why he ended up dying right there. But at least he got the kill first, but a good counter kill nonetheless.
Yeah, it was a good kill in the first place, but I don't actually think it was that much in favour of CiC, because although they did get the Bloodlust, it went on to the Empath instead of the Drunken Master, and at the same time it was the Magnus, or the core hero, who got the counter kill onto Drunken Master. Now we see level 4 on Magnus, and only level 3 on Drunken Master, so maybe it went on equal. They're going to again here on the Magnus. I don't think they're going to be able to drop him though.
No, he's especially if you don't have Dust or Rev Wards. Do they? Well, they do. Empath does have a Rev Ward, so.
Handy's sitting up here though, up at the top. He might be trying to get this Torture, or at least Magnus might be in the middle lane.
Yeah, if Torture goes up even just a little bit, he's no doubt going to be walled off right here and eventually killed. So it looks like he's going to fall back though, Drents that is. He's going to go to the bottom rune for the refreshment. This is a time, if any, to maybe collapse. Oh, Magnus, he's kind of going to the top rune right here. Needs to be careful. Again, he has escapes, obviously. Oh, but he's going to get them off in time. He's not. The full lunge, he gets a stun off. He does have that Steam Bath. Picks up an Invis even right before, but obviously gets taken out. So just a little bit too much damage happening right there.
Yeah, and I don't think that Magnus actually realised Rhapsody was there until too late. Because I think if he did realise, he could have just stunned up onto the hill, or onto the roof, you know, the little hill bit, and it would have been fine. But maybe just a little bit of just didn't notice him, he was there. But good roam coming out from Rhapsody, and this is what I was talking about. The roam coming out from the secondary support. And this is why a lot of teams are focusing on secondary supports instead of the jungle factor. Because, I mean, this wall base isn't going to be able to gank like at all, even until level 6, whereas the Rhapsody can start ganking and helping lanes a lot earlier. I mean, he might even be going on this Madman here in the top lane as well.
He has Dust, so Madman needs to be very careful about this. Level 5 Swift Blade just hit, so now he has a level 3 Blade for entry as well. They're going to go for it right here. There's a Staccato. Dust comes out. Madman stock. He still gets the move speed, of course. The Staccato stuns, though, barely giving him range, but not long enough. Good play right there from Madman. Again, it's kind of the Scott effect, too, where, sure, he may not be invis anymore because he gets dusted, but he still has that speed buff, and ultimately allows him to get away right there. Yeah, exactly.
So fast,
it really
man.
is, yeah.
I thought that was a guaranteed kill with Madman, but no, he was so fast. I mean, his Swift Blade does have Ghost March now, so if that happens again, that might be a little bit of a different story. But Madman's most likely going to pick up boots here, so it might have cancelled out the effect. Middle lane, though, Drunken going in on Magnus.
No, just going to pressure him. In fact, baits out a Impale coming out from Torture and will eventually fall back from there. So, yeah, doing some work, getting their attention. How about the bottom lane, though? Going back down here, Witchslayer versus Chipper. Witchslayer 26-7, Chipper 18-5. Witchslayer is level 6 as well, and I think Chipper, well, of course he knows that, but yeah, you got to be very careful, especially in that situation with the burst that he has. So.
Oh, top lane.
Yeah, they're going to the top rune actually. Refreshment move going to spawn right there. He bottles it up. Magnus in some trouble. He lava surges away, going to be fine, but here comes Chipper with a haste rune. Legion team needs to be careful about this. They're not going to realize in time. Torture. Here comes Warbeast. Torture's going to stay alive. In comes the chainsaws. Not the best chainsaws, honestly. Gets a kill on Empath, though. And they are going to chase. Mana going back up for Chipper. He puts down the Tartos. Drunken Master in trouble. They already got the kill on Rhapsody. Swift Blade, he's coming over, but he's like, do I really want to fight this? Maybe hero block a little bit. He has Swift Slashes. He's going to spin. Down goes Drunken Master. And now Flensmeister might be in a little bit of trouble. He is going to survive. But good pursuit right there. And talk about the perfect rune for Chipper to spawn at the bottom.
Yeah, but absolutely great play coming from Chipper. Like, he can't lane bottom because Witchslayer's level 6 now, and he's going to try and, you know, obviously help his team, which he did. And they secured, was it 3 kills there for The Last of Us, and now they're definitely back in there, even though you're leading in terms of experience. So, yeah, really well played coming out from Chipper there. I mean, without him, none of that could have happened, so really well played by him.
Well played indeed. And shout out to Cookie, by the way, for subscribing to the Honcast channel. We don't get many of those nowadays, but we do got some cool Twitch emotes, so I'm sure that's maybe a reason why. Just to support in general. But shout out to you, Cookie. for subscribing. So, anyways, though, but yeah, obviously Chipper being involved, and we're talking about that. Witchslayer is now level 7 even. Does he need to start getting active here? I mean, Mickey's been at this bottom lane 7.5 minutes in. Would you expect him to start moving now?
I mean, you could ask him to start moving, but at the same time, if he gets Portal Key, the rotation, the gank's going to be so much easier, because if he ganks top, it's going to be hard to really catch Madman, and it's the same sort of case as mid. But if he stays bottom, like, Chipper won't really be able to lane, although Madman's coming in for a gank. They might even set something up on the Witchslayer here, bottom lane.
They're going to try. Stock comes in. They have the burst damage for sure. Witchslayer maybe gets a God stun off. Not even close. He couldn't even get the cast animation off. Chipper just way too much stun and burst to get the kill off the bat. Drunken Master middle lane. Here comes the eruption. Drunken Master could have tried to launch the other way, but he's not able to. Oh, that was a big kill right there on a Drunken as well. So the Last of Us doing some control here in game number 1. And thus up 6-2 in hero kills, actually. The movement's working out for them very well here.
Yeah, and honestly, the scoreline should be the complete opposite direction, really, because they've got better roam on Zinc, they've got better gank potential because they're running the dual supports, but instead it's actually, and they're getting another kill onto Mazera here on the empath. But yeah, it's the dual supports that really should be the ones roaming, but instead it's actually the Last of Us getting a lot of good pickups because of this Madman and Chipper, so they're doing so much work, and at the same time they've got Warbeast farming like as much as possible, 330 GPM, and he's definitely going to be a factor in the late game that's going to be an issue.
Yeah. You see Warbeast actually is over here. Swiftblade kind of taking his camp. He's using the Hellhounds to maybe try to box him out a little bit. And they're going to effectively do so. So well played right there by Warbeast. Has that Abyssal Skull, of course, and has got that efficient farming tool as a result. He doesn't need his boots just yet. Being that he has his ultimate, he heals 522 moves speed no matter what without boots. So not necessary here just yet, but, we'll probably see him maybe pick that up next. In fact, yep, they're being delivered right here. So always intriguing to see that, though. And then he can not have to worry about that too much early on. Magnus, top lane? No, he's going bottom lane, actually. They're going to try to set up a gank again down here. They really want this Witchslayer dead.
They don't have a lane ward bottom, but it doesn't even matter. He's got Invis. Actually, they're going in top lane at the same time.
Rhapsody's also going to fall right there. Swiftblade in the meantime. He's spinning on top of the Warbeast, but he's not doing nearly enough damage. Flensmeister holding his ground. I think that was the case. He probably even knew that he was dead, but he was just going to do as much damage as possible because Drunken Master trying to get a return kill. The Courier actually taking an auto attack, but Warbeast even out of ultimate going to be fine. Bottom lane, Witchslayer does get bursted down in the end. He said didn't even see him coming. And 10-2 hero kill advantage. Wow, the Last of Us making a statement.
Looking so rough for Zinc Esports. They're losing this lane phase so badly because of the Roman and the good movement coming out from the Last of Us. Like, they're not getting anything in lane because of the better hero composition. Like, if it was 1v1 against Witchslayer and Chipper, and Witchslayer would win, but it's all because of the rotations coming out from Madman and Chipper, and they're doing so much for their team right now. All the while, Warbeast can just easily farm and get even bigger and bigger, and Zinc really are in a tough spot. They need something to change here, otherwise they're going to be looking for an early loss here already.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are going to be first things first looking at, they're playing with quote-unquote ringers, aka subs. I mean, at the same time, these are still obviously very, very good players, both Macera and Panny. Panny's obviously, he's basically been there since Macera. I mean, you would vouch for that, I'm sure. A very good player himself. Yeah. So
he's a great player. I mean, I've played with him a couple of times on our team, but a really, really great player. I know he doesn't really play that much secondary support. He normally plays like the mid role, which would probably be Mickey. But let's say he can play any role. Honestly, he's a great player, and that's definitely not the reason why they're losing it. I just think the Last of Us are playing really, really well, executing their ganks perfectly. And as a result, they're ahead here in their laning phase.
So 11 minutes in, you can see once again bottom lane. Magnus is hanging around. Rusher wants to set up a kill again, but, well, he might get that opportunity if Empath goes in a little further right here. Just places that lane ward. And going to try to help Swiftblade here as far as continuing his farm. Swiftblade with the Energizer picked up, that you see right there. But they know Magnus is in the lane, thus why they're playing very, very defensive. And ultimately, Swiftblade just going to go to the jungle, actually, and do what he can in there. So definitely, although they're not getting a kill here on the Hellborn side, they are mitigating the farm as much as possible, specifically for the Swiftblade. Flensmeister doing a good job, though. Going to take some 2 stacks here and try to farm them up. Here comes Torturer. He's going to be spotted by the ward aside. He needs to be careful. Swiftblade has Swift Slashes. Will even use it. It doesn't look like putting auto attacks. He might regret that, though, because here comes the support. Okay, yeah, he uses it in time. And down goes Torturer. I was going to say, Magma's coming over, so if he didn't use it soon, he could have gotten away. But that's just a case of lonely support walking into a ward aside and, well, getting picked off as a result of it.
Yeah, that is a little bit weird, though. I mean, like, think all 4 heroes were off the map there, and top lane Drunken might be in trouble.
Yeah, they're chasing Warbeast in that ulti form now. Man gets the barrel off. Nice job right there. The slow is applied. He pops the untouchable. It will mitigate damage, not do a whole lot of nullstone effect though. Warbeast, he's going to dive past the tower. He really wants this kill. No, the Hellhounds cannot finish him off. Witchslayer with the stun, and Warbeast realizing he has to fall back because the ultimate's about to warrior off. Witchslayer going to drop. No, he gets the counter kill with the silver bullet on Madman. Good support from Drunken Master there as well. Madman went a little too deep, it's safe to say. Really wanted that kill right there. Obviously did not work out. So good play by Witchslayer in the end. Again, using that silver bullet of his to guarantee the kill. And he now has 1,100 gold saved up here. So speaking of that portal key situation, I mean, both him and Magnus not really doing the best here in terms of farming that portal key. Kind of average farm, really.
Yeah, and I think actually when Witchslayer gets his portal key, it's going to be somewhat more impactful than the Magnus portal because when Magnus gets his portal key, it's going to be like a big team fight sort of item. But for Witchslayer, it's more of a ganking style because when he gets the portal key, he can set up ganks on almost any lane with any other hero, and that's what CiC need to get back into this game. I mean, they're slowly clawing their way back. They're only 1,000 gold down, but a few more kills could definitely make the difference to put them back into this game. So I think it's going to be a little bit more important for Mickey here. Than for Resha on the Magnus.
Absolutely. Flensmeister, again, even though he was going to box out there at the bottom lane, doing the jungle and whatnot, got that kill. He's now up to 360 gold per minute, which is basically tied for tops in the game. Warbeast also, of course, up there, but, Warbeast, he's not fully scary yet by any means, but obviously even has more of that scary potential once we do hit that very late game especially. But he's got the Steam Boots and the Abyssal Skull here. We'll see how he follows up. It seems like it varies from time to time, whether it's the Soul's Bulwark, whether it's just even a straight Brutalizer, or Shrunken Head. I mean, he's got options here. You think the Shrunken probably makes sense here the most, or Soul's Bulwark?
Yeah, I mean, I think Shrunken would make more sense, actually. Top laner might be going in for Drunken. I can't find him. I think this ward actually is protecting Kaiser really well. He's playing safe. But I think Shrunken probably would make the most sense. I mean, Witchslayer offers so much lockdown, and just making sure he can have free reign in these team fights is going to be the most important thing, honestly, than just pure damage coming out from Bulwark. I mean, and Rhapsody and Empath is just annoying. I know they have, physical presence coming out from Drunken and Swiftblade, but Witchslayer in itself is worth enough just to get a Shrunken Head because of that hero.
Energizer picked up by Keizu right here, playing the Drunken Master. He does this. A lot of Drunken Masters may not usually do this, but Keizu especially just prefers it. We've seen them plenty coming out here. Likes to get that phase effect, even though they already have one on their team too. I mean, that's what they argue, especially with that change that happened. We've still seen it, even though you cannot stack them anymore. On top of right after the other, kind of has that Astrolabe effect, at least. So. I mean, do you still think it makes sense? It's a comfort thing. It's still worth getting it here, or is it at a point where Casey's just doing what he just knows to do?
I don't know, really, because I think you can make the argument for either way. I know Cage does love to go with that Energizer, though, because it offers Drunken Master almost haste speed when he gets the Stagger and Energizer combo. But at the same time, he's gone Steam Boots instead of Phase Boots, which we normally see on the Drunken Master, and it offers the same thing. It offers a little bit more extra survivability. I know Chipper can offer quite a lot of burst potential, and I think offering just a little bit more HP with the Energizer is probably maybe the better pickup. I know it doesn't synergize well because Swiftblade's got one himself, but I think it's worth the investment, honestly.
All right, so again has it at that top lane and continues to kind of play pretty passive right here. Going to go for some creep farm, but as he does, we got Torture coming over, but spotted by the Ward of Sight. So I think Hellborn team knows that there's some kind of vision over here. You see they tried to counter ward where they thought a Ward of Sight might have been, but it was not there. In fact, it's over at the small camp, of course. So Casey is going to have that advantage to take care of that advantage, or you know what I'm saying. He has that up, and it's probably not going to be counter-warded, is the ultimate point I'm getting at. So that's good for him. Swiftblade, he's continuing to farm some triple stack ancients, and I believe Witchslayer just got his portal key. Yep, well, actually the courier's at the top lane here. It's kind of interesting. Okay, he buys it from up there. Yeah. Okay. Just because that's where it was, I guess, so. Going to send it over. And this is what you're talking about, though. Even arguably more impactful for him to have it than the Magnus, who's just about there as well, so. We'll see what gets turned on here.
Yeah, and actually really well played. This is going to be a perfect time. I don't know if you saw on cast, but they actually rev ward the lane ward up here for the top lane.
Okay.
And Nick is already coming over in anticipation for this gank. But at the same time, Torture and Warbeast are here. They are moving back into the jungle, so this might be the prime opportunity here for what Mickey was looking for.
Yeah, he's not level 11 just yet, so that's a little bit unfortunate. He's not getting as much damage as he possibly could with that Silver Bullet, and even a lesser cooldown, a much lesser cooldown. Speaking of that, 150 seconds to 90 seconds from 1 to 2. That's a ridiculous jump. All the way down to 55 seconds at level 3. That's really absurd when you think about it compared to other ultimates, but that's what it is. What the hero, like, here we go. They want
Magnus,
to.
Yeah, Magnus has got his portal key as well. This could be like somewhat of a bad team fight actually for CiC.
Yeah, if Magnus actually eruptions in here, it could be risky for Witcher to then jump in himself, but I mean, Magnus, I think he might be waiting for level 11 as well. He's just in experience range, I believe. So maybe he might just be close to hitting it, or maybe just not really feeling the most comfortable. Yeah, in the end, going to start falling back, actually. So no ganks to be had at the top lane.
Yeah, I think it's actually really well played by Last of Us. You see Madman farming here for the last 3 minutes. They put the lane right back, and all of them have TP, so if they do go up on the Madman, I think rotation can happen and instantly save this Madman. And this is sort of forcing CiC to try and get farm other ways like ganking, because they can only farm, say, top now at the moment, which offers the Last of Us to farm mid and bottom, but they are coming in for the gank top lane.
You see Drunken Master, he's going to be in the front lines there. It's an Energizer pop. They jump in, which there with the Portakey miniaturization. In comes a follow-up. The Graveyard's done, and not much chance for for Magnus right there. A lot of TPs coming in, though. He put the wall up from Empath, however, and it blocks any chance that they had to respond. So, yeah, just way too quick, and that's really good, because not only do they beat all those TPs, but they're going to push middle now. They get the tower kill. That was huge for CiC.
Warbeast is going in, though.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's just diving, man. He's going big time right here. He feels like he can kill Rhapsody. Rhapsody hit the minion. He hit the Hellhound. He misclicked right there. I mean, it is tough when you're in that panic mode, but he is going to be able to be fine, as the hero blockage was just a little bit too much right there. So that was almost backfired right there, but in the end, he does survive. But, yeah, overall, again, CiC, that was huge, not only for the hero kill, but because they easily got the middle tower kill as a result.
Yeah, and that was honestly perfect execution coming out from CiC, but I have to call out the Last of Us. Their TVs were a little bit slow, but at the same time, the kill they got actually was on the perfect hero, the Magnus, because that's the the Last of Us initiator there. And if that was going on, say like the Torturer or the Madman, it would have been Magnus who would have TP'd in. Probably set up a lot of counter kills, but obviously they had no portal keys on the side of the Last of Us, so they couldn't really get any return kills. So good pickup for CiC in the end.
Indeed it was. You saw the middle lane right there. Flensmeister, they tried to go in on a chipper, but the tablet command comes into play, and Fuzzy Sloth able to get away. So obviously we see that there. The tablet pickup coming out from chipper. Has that mobility here. Great for heroes like Swiftblade, of course, to help get away from that spin especially. But another 1,700 gold saved up, so Fuzzy Sloth seems like he's been farming decent here. 321 gold per minute overall. But another tower push, this time at the top lane, in favor of Casey. But you look at the GPM. Swiftblade really has taken off, man. 457 gold per minute. Flensmeister knows how to farm. He's played this hero plenty, it's safe to say.
Yeah, and they were doing a really good job of like stacking Ancients in the jungle, and that's what you need to do. Like, I mean, he didn't have the greatest of time top. I mean, they did it eventually rotating bottom because they felt that him laning top was just a little bit too risky. But all these stacks coming up, and he is the highest farmer in the game right now, and he can farm stacks a lot easier than Warbeast though, because of that the Blade Frenzy. So I mean, it's going to sort of boost him up completely in this game.
You see Warbeast here. He is going to be going for the Shrunken Head now. He did go the Soul's Bulwark first, but now going to have that Shrunken Head to follow up. And those 3 items alone, that makes him very powerful, of course, especially if he manages to get level 16 on top of that in the near future, which definitely is on pace for that. So that's obviously some very good news for The Last of Us and the news that they need, because overall right now, both your Drunken and especially that Swiftblade as we're just talking about, having a lot of farm going around themselves. And you can kind of tell by the map positioning, too, the way it's been for the last 5-10 minutes even. It's been in favor of CiC. I mean, you see right here all the wards that are right now up. Only the one ward site up for the Hellboy team currently, and that's at their own Ancients, the bottom rune area, really. So somewhat of a defensive ward there, just for a little bit of information. But CiC's starting to get pretty aggressive as far as their makeup is concerned. I will say Mickey, though, I mean, he's got that portal key. Oh, Flensmeister, by the way. Ooh, they did not jump when they had a chance. If they react to that right away, then Swiftblade could have been in trouble, but they allowed him to kind of fall back, and he's going to be fine. But I was going to say, Witcher, not much of an I mean, he's 0-2-2. Like, he's got the portal key. He tried to gank top lane. It's not his fault, obviously, but not really where he wanted to be, I would think.
Alright.
Oh, yeah, Empath. He's getting cut out right here. Chain Reactions misses, though, and it allows him to jump into Switchblade, and he's going to be fine. So, good getaway coming out from Acera right there.
But yeah, going back to Mickey though, like, there's not much he could really do though. You see the Last of Us, they've been grouping up as 5, like, the last 5 minutes, honestly. After the gank top lane, I think the Last of Us decided they can't really, go alone because the pick-off potential, I think, is just too high. Now Witchlayer's got his portal key. And at the same time, like, it's not Mickey's fault they can't get pick-offs because otherwise they're going to be sort of taking a team fight 5-on-5 that I don't think CiC are really ready to take. Magnus has got his portal key, and we talked about how Magnus a lot better of a team fighter with that portal key than Witchslayer. And so I think Mickey couldn't do honestly much other than just keep farming, honestly, because the Last of Us have stayed together as 5, so the pick-off potential hasn't really been there for him.
That is true. I mean, you see him right here, trying to find an opportunity. Again, maybe this middle lane, maybe the Torture would be a free kill, but Chipper a little bit tanked up here, or probably too much mobility himself to guarantee a kill at least. So, but again, we'll see if he finds that opportunity right now, sitting in the pause. But Chipper does get the portal key follow-up. Speaking of that, so they got a couple portal keys now here on the Hellborn side. Going to try to take advantage of that themselves. So it's going to be a decent time right here. They got the aggressive. They kind of got a very both a very somewhat aggressive mix here on the Hellborn side, but also the good carry potential. They got a couple shrunken heads, excuse me, coming out here both on Madman and Warbeast. And really, once they get those on top of the portal keys that they have on the other heroes, it seems like things are going to be really a good moment for the Hellborn team to maybe make a move here in this game. But at the same time, Swiftblade continues to farm very, very well. 460 gold per minute and counting. 2,600 gold saved up on top of that here. So I think we usually see that maybe the Frostburn in this spate, but I guess he's going to be going for Geometer's Bane here.
He could go Geometer's to get rid of the Tartos, obviously, but I think Frost. I don't know whether he's going to go either one, because although Geometer's Bane probably offer a little bit more better carry potential, getting the Frostburn is offering him a little bit more survivability, and there's a lot of burst potential coming out from The Last of Us, actually. So I think either item builds would be fine, but he hasn't picked up the Frostburn yet, so I'm guessing he's going to go for the Geometer's Bane.
Oh, top lane, we have some action. Big burst on a Magnus as soon as he TP's in. That is the power of Witchslayer right there. Completely burst him down, no chance. And Chipper also gets picked off. In the meantime, double damage. Drunken Master will do that. When it's all said and done, you see Warbeast, he's around, he has ulti for him still, but there's not much more he can do. In fact, he needs to be careful because they're not done just yet. Witchslayer coming back in. He puts the jump miniaturization on a Warbeast. There's a lunge. Torture is here. Chain reactions. He gets it off, but Warbeast starting to take so much damage. He finally ultis, but Switchblade, he's going to cut them off. The Switchblade only hits Torture, but Warbeast is going to be cut off in the end, and it works out perfectly for CiC Esports. A double tap for Flensmeister. The tower is going to end up falling at the top lane as well. And what a fight overall. 4,300 gold lead. So not an amazing lead as far as that's concerned, but still a huge fight once again for CiC.
Yeah, like 4 dead just because of the one pickup from Witchslayer. And Madman might even be in trouble here as well. No, I don't think they have any invis detection, but yeah, this is the power of Witchslayer. Like, he saw the burst potential so quickly that even the TPs, like, they weren't quick enough to sort of save Magnus at all. So yeah, just really well fight coming out from CiC. And the further this goes on, like, I don't know, it feels like The Last of Us are almost falling to pieces. They had a great laning phase, but in the mid-game, it kind of feels like they have no leadership or no set plan on what they want to do. I mean, they look like they're trying to get the shrunken heads on Warbeast and Madman, but at the same time, the Chipper and Magnus aren't really offering a lot, even though they've got the portal key on Chipper. I'd like to see him maybe have some kind of gank potential like we see with the Witchslayer. But yeah, it just feels like The Last of Us are kind of sort of falling off actually in the mid game, even though they shouldn't be. Yeah,
exactly. I kind of feel that way too. I mean, it is one of those cases though. As much as CiC seems like they've been winning several of these fights recently. Again, the lead, it's not substantial by any means. It is growing here. 5,300 gold lead, 3,300 experience lead, but and especially when you take into consideration again the lineup here of The Last of Us, by no means is this an over game at all. But it does really feel like CiC continues to have that momentum for whatever reason here in game number 1. And yeah, I was going to say, I'll see Witchslayer right here. He's not got a Neophyte's book to follow it up, so we'll probably see a tablet on him as well. So again, kind of just continuing that utility. Yeah, or the staff, as we talked about. Yeah, probably not here. But
the one thing actually with Witchslayer, though, he really does lack on terms of mana, because his ultimate costs so much mana to cast. At like 420 at level 2 and 650 at level 3. He's only 1,000 mana already. pair that with like a graveyard storm, which is 170, and a miniature rotation, which is 200. Like that's a lot of mana to use, and that's assuming that he has full mana in terms of the team fight, which most of the time he doesn't. So any sort of mana item does help a lot, because you really do have some mana issues with this hero. We see the Warbeast using the dogs already, trying to get a few bits of farm he can, but Drunken's sort of taking them out as soon as possible.
Now, again, it's obviously not mattered, and in the end, you know, he has his items, but again, this is just one of those things. It's like, every now and then you see this. Now, he does end up going Dawnbringer, so when I'm getting after Swiftblade, it's like, why didn't you just get the Frostburn then, or the Searing Light, and then eventually build it up? But he actually pulled up something like 4,800 gold, and just bought them both at once. So, anyways, point being, he has a full Dawnbringer now. Obviously, a lot of carry potential with that coming out as a result. And going to fight off Warbeast. Speaking of that, too, right there, the Hellborn team only has one tower kill so far, 26 minutes in. And especially with a hero like Warbeast, you would maybe expect a little bit more to happen. Oh, wow, yeah, they're going to jump on him. Lane Torture, easy pick off on him, it looked like. Well, that's again Power Witch Slayer. What more else is there to say? Easy support Torture getting picked up. He only has, what, 758 life. Yeah, only 2 Miter Totems on him at level 9, so understandably dropping quickly right there. Full Demonic, by the way, finish on Drunken Master as well, so really big items coming out here on the Legion side. Where are those Shrunken Heads at, man? I mean, Madman just about has it. And Warbeast, I want to say, did he not? He should have it? Maybe not, I guess. He might still
He went for Bulwark. Yeah, he went for Bulwark.
That's true, yeah.
Shrunken Head end, so it's moving out on that sort of area. Witchlight does go for the tablet, which makes sense though. You normally see the tablet on Magnus as well. It just offers a little bit more mobility, a bit more sort of catching potential if they're just out of reach of your portal key. Shrunken Head on Madman just about finished, and maybe this is where the Last of Us will start fighting now. Warbeast is closing in on his Shrunken as well. Top lane.
Yeah, Empath's going to be jumped. Will they be able to port in time to save him? Empath, he's a little tanky, honestly, even for a secondary support. He does survive quite a long time, and actually, this is going to be a kill to Warbeast, it looks like, unless the ulti someone runs away in time. The locked-in is too strong, though. There goes the power drain, everything they're using, and it is enough for the kill. They did not have a silver bullet. It did not matter. And that's just, I mean, Macera, again, the fact that he lived as long as he did was the only reason they got the kill right there. So, well played on his part. And Warbeast, so I was just going to talk about the Shrunken Head. He's still delayed at this point in time in terms of picking that up. So they finally have it on Madman, but Warbeast is really the hero that you definitely wanted on. So you kind of wonder what CiC is going to look to do here now, especially with him being dead. Maybe Kongor, maybe push tower still. Yeah, they're going to push middle lane, it looks like. Trying to make something happen here. Chipper, though, he's already setting up for a defense. Going to do his best. I mean, the Hellborn team does have a very good jump between Chipper and Magnus, especially if they get the double initiation. Going to have a lot of initial damage come out. Oh, Chipper needs to be careful. Yep, they're going to see him. Fuzzy Sloth, he should have known. He is going to be easily picked off in the end. And the tower falls. So, Last of Us making some silly mistakes here.
Magnus picks up an Astrolabe actually, which is kind of peculiar. I mean, it's 28 minutes in. I mean, I do understand, like, want to get the team fight items, but I mean, Astrolabe only offering like 200 like health to nearby guys, which makes a difference. But in around like 30 minutes into the game, it doesn't really offer that much. But yeah, we saw Chipper getting picked up again, and that's such a shame though, because they most likely could have definitely defended the tier 2. Warbeast was definitely coming up in time, but the honestly good presence of mind coming out from Panny puts up the Disco Inferno and easy catch onto Chipper in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, that was easy pick off, easy tower kill, easy bottom tower kill. So a lot of easy things happening here for CiC Esports, and again, that's kind of the fault of The Last of Us in terms of positioning here and there. So only themselves to blame to an extent, but at the same time, CiC's definitely started to play more and more better as this game has advanced on, no doubt. And their lead is now looking pretty good. I mean, only a 12-11 hero kill lead, but obviously 10,000 plus kill lead. Here we go, the middle lane, the big initiative. Oh, they stopped Magnus. That was huge right there. Witch there stopped Magnus, channeling the eruption. He's going to throw out a stun himself. He needs to get away. Torture gets picked off. The Swift Slash is bouncing back and forth between the two. Magnus eventually falls. Madman just on the run. Warbeast in the background. He's trying to kill Witch Slayer, but a big protective melody saves the day. Rhapsody will fall as a result, but now Witch Slayer, he is exposed. But here comes the supporting cast of Warbeast out of ulti form. He's going to be picked off, and CiC Esports will once again come out on top of the fight. Another double tap for Flensmeister, and they're going to go right for Kongor here. Big stop from Mickey, though.
Insane stuff. I mean, that would have been a definite almost one team fight because of the last match, just because the power of the Magnus eruption. But insane plays coming out from Mickey, spots it just in time and turns the team fight single-handedly. I mean, Mickey playing off the wall right now.
Yeah. Again, his early game, very little impact. 0-2-2 at that point I was talking about, but he's changed some things. Since then, he's what? He's gone 2-0-5 since we made that point. So clearly stepping the game up. And
that's the game.
That's always a funky concede time. It's like the Go Conger, let's just GG. That just happened. Maybe they were talking about it a little bit in terms of how what went wrong throughout the game there at the end. But obviously, the end result is a victory for CiC Esports. So even with a couple of subs in there, get the job done and take care of business for game number 1. Any final thoughts on the game 1 there, Mini Maggot?
Yeah, I think the last us honestly had a superior laning phase than CiC. They were getting a lot of pickoffs, a lot of rotations, and they were looking really good into the game. But when it got into the mid game, it just felt that they kind of just lost the sight of what they wanted to do or what they needed to do. I mean, Chipper wasn't really ganking, Madman wasn't farming that much, and instead the CiC sort of took control of the game. And I just think that little misplay coming up from the Last of Us, CiC just capitalised on. They gave them an inch, and CiC just took a mile off them completely.
Yeah.
And it just shows how strong CiC are as a team, that they were sort of focused even though they were behind.